so welcome back, listeners and watchers, to Actually Let's Chat's side quest on Heated Rivalry. We are now on episode 2. Welcome, Kate. Um, so
Yay!
we had an enormous reaction from people. It's been fantastic.
Yes.
We've had so many
I know, so
comments.
exciting.
And I wanted to highlight one person's comment in particular because I found it really interesting. So I'm going to just read this. It says,
Hmm.
I absolutely read that Ilya figures out in the first conversation that Shane is attracted to him. Now, I don't think he's immediately jumped to, we will make the sex, which I love that, but I think he's already on, oh, I'm going to mess with this boy's head. And yes, sometimes as a gay man, you clock people super quick on very little information. Often you're not entirely sure, but just sometimes it's immediately clear. So I really like that observation. I like that in like he was thinking more like, oh, Ilya kind of can see an in here rather than like, oh, immediately I am going to sleep with you, but more of a I'm gonna push some buttons and I'm gonna see how far I can push this. And I thought that
Or
was quite a good observation.
even using it to like get in his head as a hockey
Yes.
player? Is
Yeah,
that what
yeah.
they're yeah, okay.
I think so too, but I
Um,
do think I don't know. I mean, please comment again. Tell us if we've got it wrong. But part of me is like thinking that he's saying that um getting in his head in a kind of in a slightly like sexual way as well. So like yeah, I don't know. Maybe yeah, it could be either way. To be honest, couldn't it? It could. Um. So before we get into this week's episode, I wanted to raise something, okay? Something that has happened that I wanted to put on the podcast. I have a lot of files on my computer. As everyone knows, I edit all these. I'm now editing the YouTubes. I have a lot of files, and I'm really worried that my laptop is going to break. So my mum very kindly gave me an external hard drive to put all of our stuff on. I plugged it in today. I'm offloading stuff. I realise there's a file on there. Open it, huge amount of stuff on there. Realise it's my late grandfather's external hard drive. It contains his family history, family tree, photos of my late grandmother, and his last will and testament. So I'm sitting here bawling my eyes out because, of course, I'm going to open my grandfather's last will and testament and read it. I am crying. This hard drive is now also full of, it's not just smut, it's smut and my grandfather's last will and testament because I'm not going to delete it from there. This is all of his stuff. So I did alert this to my mother and she's like, it's what he would have wanted. It's not.
that's
But
lovely.
that
What
is
is he? Grampy, grandpa? Granddad?
he's
Oh,
grandpa. He's grandpa.
he says that you're
But
posh.
yes,
I would very surprised he's not granddad.
grandfather. Yeah, no, he was grandpa.
Grandfather.
But yeah, so it's a bit of a harrowing day over here as I like transfer clips from Heated
Yeah,
Rivalry
that's
onto an external hard drive next to my pictures of
yeah.
my grandma.
Well, at least you've been reunited with some family history, I guess.
I mean, if you think about it, I've inherited this, you know. My grandchildren may also inherit this hard drive, open it and see loads of lovely old family photos and a load of smut. Who knows? So there you go. That's just what I've been dealing with. I just want to raise that because now also my mum will now know. Um, so Kate, let's get started. Do you have any reflections on last week?
Um, yeah, I feel like I had a lot of stuff I was like, oh, I should talk about. So I guess like I had a lot of time to reflect on the smut. That's actually the best way of putting it, isn't it? The smut.
Yeah.
Because now we've been talking about, first of all, I'll put a little caveat to this. We've been talking about things being spicy.
Mm.
And I'm like, that's kind of just how I always, oh, spicy books. But I know enough people in my life that are neuro spicy that when I saw somebody put spicy mums chat, I was like, oh, what is this? Because I genuinely didn't know if it was a mums who had ADHD or mums that liked smut.
Very
So
good question. Yeah,
it was ADHD moms, which I was like, oh yeah,
yeah. Okay.
just like yes, please. Um, But so yeah, no, smut works much better than spicy because you never know.
You really don't. Let's stick with smart. I like that.
Um, but I think I've come around on it because at first I was very much like, oh my god, this is insane. But you know what? There's a lot in this one, and I was like, I did it, I handled it, I didn't get too embarrassed, I didn't get red. Although,
Yeah,
did I finish my story? Because we were talking, and because we went out together last night, and
yeah.
I was telling you the story about how I was sitting there on my phone watching watching it. And then my husband came in the room and I immediately pushed my phone down so the screen was. Did I finish this story? I don't remember.
I don't think so. No, you just said that
I
you
think
put your screen down. Yeah.
yeah, I think I got distracted because like we were going in and they took our tickets or whatever. But I was like, yeah, so I was on my phone eating my lunch and stuff and had my headphones in and I had it like leaned up against my drink. And then my husband came in and just instinctively I put my phone down with the screen down on the table. He's like, that looks suspicious. I was like, oh, I didn't even think about it. I just watched it.
You did a Shane and you hid your
I was like a
phone when something
teenager,
spicy was
basically
on
a
the screen.
teenager being like, don't see what I'm looking at. Um,
That's
but
so
yeah, no.
funny.
So aside from that, though, the blushing has stopped, and I'm just like, oh. But I have some serious thoughts on this episode, and I have some hot takes, and I have some things I'm kind of worried you're not gonna like.
Oh, okay. All
So I
right.
have to say
Okay.
that.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
let's get straight into it then, shall we? Okay. Right. So the next episode, so episode 2 is called Olympians. I obviously am wearing my Canada. I'm going to turn so people can see that it does actually say Canada. It does actually say Canada on the back. I did make this. That's Let's not get into why, but yeah, I love it. It's very comfy. It's very cozy. Um,
It looks so
so
good on you too. It's a good fit.
cute. Thank you. Yes, I luckily already had the jumper. So it starts with Monch 2 by Wet Leg, and we get a montage. Really good song choice, I thought. And we get 2 years worth of text, or 2 seasons worth of text. Um, I thought that these were needed. I thought that the 2 years of texting, even though I want them to like hook up immediately, was kind of needed for the relationship to form, for that kind of friendship and the
Mhm.
banter to form. What did you think about that?
Well, I was. Are we in the impression that the only times that they are talking is just the ones we see?
Yes, I would assume so. Yeah.
Okay, because I've definitely had like one relationship years and years ago where we didn't live near each other, and every once in a while there'd be like a "Hey, how you been?" And it's like,
Mm,
"Ooh, this is fun," and it's very exciting. So I was like,
mm,
"Oh, that must be really exciting." Not like, "Ooh, I haven't heard from you in a while."
yeah.
Um, so that I do kind of like that actually. And I like that they used it to speed up time, but also I put it on because I was like, oh, I'm going to do stuff. And then it was like 15 minutes of text messages
All
and
texts.
adorableness. And I was like, well, I don't want to do anything else now. I just want to sit and watch this.
That's the
Like, I
point
guess
of
I'm
this
not doing.
show. I'm annoyed that you even thought I'm gonna go do other things while I watch this. That
Well,
you
because I was
know,
like, oh no, I'll do like a preliminary watch. And then I was like, oh no, that's not going to happen at all. Because there's just too much going on. You can't.
there's a lot of
Because like
reading.
the movies we watched, I could even like
Mm,
watch them and then go back and like watch scenes again to get notes for it. But this, I was like, no, this is just. I mean, it's also a short episode. Just watch it as it is, Kate. Just chill.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But I had a
Stay
lot to do, and
focused.
I was like, well, if I'm gonna watch it twice, which I was planning on, but I ended up just watching it the once
Yeah,
at my kitchen table.
that's so sad. Okay, well, we get very much like your kitchen table experience, a dick pic from Ilya to Shade, and he throws his phone down. And I do quite like the cut in the song. I thought that was very clever. So we move straight into fall of 2013. We're in the locker room. It's the next game against each other. I think it's like the first game of the season against each other, maybe.
Yeah.
So a little fun fact, ding ding, is one of the players, so 2 down from Shane, we're in the locker room, he's talking to Hayden, I think. 2 down is the back of a jersey. It's KOCH cock. I love that. Ilya is texting Shane before the game, and then obviously Ilya says that great one of like, what is it? How many times can I make you come in an hour? And then Shane's like doing the kind of little text back being like, no, you can't say this to me before the game, delete. And then answers so earnestly with like, I don't know, maybe twice. And it's so it's such a sweet thing because it's so innocent, it's so naive. It's like, I'm just gonna be honest. And obviously Ilya finds that adorable. I think, do we get
Yeah.
the you're straight up blushing, never in my life have I blushed, Russians do not do this? I think that's quite a good line as well.
Yes, yeah, that's what he says to.
Marlu, I think his name is the other guy
Yeah,
who
yeah.
like
Yeah, I heard that. I remember that line. I just trying to think of when he says it.
he says it, yeah, just before the game, and to his teammate who is like a lot older. I think I don't know. Are hockey players like how long do they
They
play
play
for?
a
Because
lot
this
older.
guy's like
Yeah, they play
45.
in the grand scheme of like sports teams that my like dad watched, because my dad's a big sports guy. Like, I think
Hmm.
that football players, like American football players, their shelf life is a lot shorter. And there's certain baseball players that can go longer depending on what position you play. But hockey
Right.
players do seem to be, I mean, so there was a guy when I was like really into hockey, probably like 2010 ish.
Yeah.
We call it 2010, maybe before that. Named Patrice Bergeron, and he, I think, might even still be playing for the Bruins. And if he's not, he only recently retired. So that
Oh.
was like quite a bit ago. So they do play for a while.
Yeah. Okay.
But I
Fair
think he
enough.
was really, I think I started watching him like his first or second year. Like I don't quote me. And now that there's actually people listening, I have no idea, guys. I just know I went to a lot of games, and it's a name I still hear my dad talk about because my dad still watches the sports.
Okay. Right. Okay. So we're taking that as gospel that that is correct. Uh,
Obviously.
so we are at Shane's apartment. This is obviously a big scene coming up. Um, you get Ilya saying, "You will murder me," which comes back. We'll come back to that as Shane lets him into his apartment through the back door. There is something I've seen something about the fact that it's is it D2 is on the or D1. I can't remember now. That's going to bug me on the door. And there's something about that. So there's an Easter egg about that. People, let me know what the Easter egg is because I have clean forgotten. Okay. Um, we get the like little angry Shane fighting with Ilya downstairs, being like, "Why did you think it was okay to sex me before the game?" And then again, immediately follows like a wet paper bag. Run
I
up the
have
stairs.
I have in my notes, and I don't know if this was here,
Yeah,
but the you shouldn't be smoking, you shouldn't be talking. Is
yeah.
that
That's a little bit on,
I
but
was
very,
like,
very
oh,
close. Yeah,
I was like, that's so cute.
that's
That's so
really cute.
cute.
That is a
Don't.
really cute line.
No. It was
See, there's a
literally the first thing I wrote down in my notes. I went, don't.
See, you like the like cutesy romantic stuff. I like that too. Some people like more of the kind of like dom sub stuff. Yeah, I like the cutesy romantic.
Yeah, that's the I think so the dom sub stuff is the thing. I think the stuff that I have a problem with. And I think
Mm,
it's just because I don't really like being told what to do by anyone, and I don't really like that in that sense. And I'm just like,
yeah,
it'd be nicer. But we'll get into that later on in this episode.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, we get him come up. They do that little run. Boys will be boys, running up the stairs, trying to race each other. Um, so we get to the scene. Yes, we get to the like, did your mum buy all these pillows? No, you come here. No, now you come here. No, you come here. That is so cute. That really like warms me. That little scene is so sweet, and it shows like it's not this kind of like you say, it's not the dom sub thing. It's they're very on the same level, and they both want exactly the same thing, and that's
Yeah.
really
I
nice.
think I also, and now this is my big hot take, is that
Hmm.
I put in here, Shane needs to get a grip because he's older now,
Hmm.
and he should realize that the way the world works is somebody's asking you if your mommy bought you pillows. Maybe you should feel a little bit more humble about like the things you have. And I don't know. I was like, clearly he just seems not braggy, but just like, oh yeah, doesn't everybody have everything so wonderful and a mom and dad who love them and blah blah blah. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I I get very irritated with Shane. I'm really
I
sorry.
do
I don't
think
know. I don't know if you have a favorite, but mine's very much not Shane.
so. I do think that might just be his autism of like being very factual and being like, no,
All
I
right,
had a
fair enough.
stylist. Like, I do think that might be just
Why do
it
you have
might
to make it
be.
like that? Now I'm getting on him about being autistic. Great.
Sorry, I'm sorry. So okay, so we've got one of the hottest sex scenes. That's what I wrote down. One of the hottest sex scenes. We get a lot of consent from Ilya. We get a lot of, is this okay? Are you okay? Love that. Love that we're showing that on TV. Um, I mean, I wrote down eating ass. I wrote that down. That's what I wrote. Um, because as Jacob said, because in the books it doesn't come in until a lot later, I think. And Jacob was like, no, no, gay men just do that. We do that right off the bat. That's not something we work up to. So he's like, so I'm putting it in because that's what happens. So good for Jacob.
Mm.
Um, amazing. I love you're just like, what the fuck? I have
Oh
no,
no, man.
I don't feel prudish about these things. Um, because I even wrote like the jangling of his necklace on Shane's back. It's so hot. Yes.
Good, and it's okay. So I have taken I put my big girl pants on about it. I still just don't know if I, know, I'm nervous, right? I just don't know if I find it attractive. That's all. I guess
It's okay.
because it's just men, and I'm like, mm,
Yes, fair, fair. I do find
like
that sex scene very hot. I do. Like, love it. I
I
really
just, and
do.
I'm not like, ew, it's gross. I'm just
Mm.
like,
But
men are
you're just
okay at
not physically
best.
attracted to that scene. That's okay. You don't have to be.
Yeah, yeah, I suppose. I mean, like, so obviously I'm straight, but I
I'm not
think
laughing. I'm not. Yeah,
that
I'm laughing. Go for it. I don't think it needed
but
to be said, but I appreciate you saying it.
very straight. Very, very straight, yeah. But even like I feel like most straight women will tell you that like men are okay, like the way they look and stuff. Like there's a reason women are naked on stuff a lot more, I feel like. Women look nice when they're naked. Maybe this is a personal preference and maybe that's what it is, but I'm just not like that fussed by it. So I'm just like,
Because I do love this scene, and I love the song that plays on the original soundtrack, and it's called "It's You," and it's really good because they turn out really loud, and you get it's very romantic, and you get this kind of like I think I wrote it down somewhere. I think it was um, what the hell are you? Please don't go. Like it's all these kind of things that are the internal thoughts that are just in the song, which I thought was really good. I think that was really clever. Also, the
yeah.
soundtrack is
I
banging.
also I
Like
didn't I didn't pick up on the consent thing, but that's brilliant. That's actually really good
he
because
says
that's
it
always a good lesson to learn.
quite a few times. Like every time I think that they change positions, he asks it. So like, and the first time I think
Yeah.
he asks as well. So I do think that's great. And then Shane obviously saying, "Oh, the sheets are all dirty now." He's like, "Shut up." So Shane. You get the coming back of like, "Oh, you will murder me," and then when he lies back down with him, he's like, "You killed me, Hollander. I am dead." So he did in fact murder him. Um, a little callback. Okay, so we get the first kind of freak out from one of them, which is when he said when Ilya says like, "Was it worth the wait?" And Shane does that really tender kiss on the lips and then on his forehead, and you just see. I don't know if you
Mhm.
saw like the panic in Ilya's eyes in that moment, where he was like, "Oh, he's feeling things," and he's like, "That I'm running away immediately. Like I'm starting to feel something that's not good, so I'm gonna go shower, and get away from the situation."
I didn't read that. I'm just dumb apparently. But is that why then at the Olympics he's kind of like chill, or is
Not,
that something else?
no, I think that's something else. I think that's the fact that
Yeah,
he's in Russia.
it's in Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, you get, and okay, so there's another like fun fact ding. You then get the stairwell scene where Ilya's leaving and they're talking about the Olympics. Um, the kiss that Ilya gives Shane there, so incredibly tender for that moment that the intimacy coordinator, and Jacob, I can't remember who it was, either Jacob or the intimacy basically after that take went, it's too tender. Like, it was too tender, it was too loving. And then I think it was Jacob who said, like, no, we're leaving that in. Like, it wasn't supposed to be that tender and loving. It was supposed to be a bit more like, bye, and then, kind of leave. But it's one of the best kisses, I think. And some people do speculate. Some people do speculate that because it was so tender, Connor didn't expect it to make the cut. And when he says bye, he says it in his normal accent rather than in a Russian accent. I have listened to it back, I have watched it back, and I'm not sure. I'm like 50-50 on it. So that is an Easter egg that some people have picked up that may or may not be true, because I'm not 100% sure on it. I don't think he does break his accent. There you go. Because I talk about accents. You get Shane at the beginning of that scene saying, he says, do you still want? And he says, I still want, but he says it in a Russian accent.
I like how you have that like Charlie Day meme
Yeah,
about you
I should
sometimes
have
with
just
all the
created one
strings and
behind
the
me.
like
I should
this
have.
is, and that feels like how you approach this entire show is very, very intense, and like
Yeah.
you are a dedicated little nerd on this. Like
Thank you.
my thoughts my thoughts was that like it is a good show, but Jesus Christ, you know every little tiny detail. But I do know that you're not alone. You're
I'm
really
not
not alone.
alone. I'm really not alone in this. Like,
And
this is something
I
that
was
is a
trying to
collective hive mind.
Well, I was trying to explain it to my husband because I was like, he was like, it's really like all this. She's so obsessed with it. But I was like, do you remember when I did nothing but listen to Hamilton for 2 years, and I like would constantly be like, and then the little tiny melody that plays in the background of this is a reference to the fact that this did this, and the Federalist Papers are in this, and blah 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 blah. And I sat there for 2 years telling you about American history and how Lin-Manuel Miranda is basically God, and he's like, okay, yeah, but just because you had a weird obsession that was unhealthy does not mean that this is okay. I'm like, no, but it's legit.
But it's legit. It has merit. Yes.
It's legit.
There was like somebody I saw on TikTok being like, this is a mass psychosis. And they were at a Heated Rivalry rave, and they were all just screaming every time that they saw like one of their butts. And it's like, it is a mass psychosis, and it's fine. I'm here for it.
Okay, yeah. All
Yeah.
right, yeah, fine, fair enough.
And you
We'll
know,
go.
because I told you that
I'm
the
like,
raves happen, so you are aware of them.
yeah, now, yeah, well, now I was like, now that I've seen the show, you reminded me that there are raves. So is it just a show playing while they listen to
No, it's
music,
edits.
or
It's a proper rave, and it's edits that people make. You get like, and so the songs that go with the edits that come up, there's a on Spotify. Everybody look it up. There's the actual official playlist for the raves. Um, I've got I've listened to it a couple of times. It's quite good. It's quite good.
insane?
Um,
This is insane.
yeah, it is. We know. We're aware. I also was wondering, so okay, we're in Sochi, we're in Russia. I was wondering if this is the first time we get the Man in the Crease podcast. I don't know if we heard it in episode 1, but I can't handle it anytime I hear it.
I know it wasn't in episode one. What? And I remember hearing a podcast thing, but what is it?
They say, welcome back to You're a Man in the Crease. And obviously, I'm not a hockey person, so I don't know. I now know the crease is like something on in hockey, but just hearing the Man in the Crease obviously is a Jacob thing of being like, haha, do you get it? But I just can't keep a straight face. Every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, Man in the Crease. But those
Yeah, I
people,
didn't even think about like I
yeah,
just kind of heard, oh yeah, but right around that time is when I was like, okay, I need to get shit done. I'll come back to this episode. So that was the first bit I watched, and then I watched the rest of it the next day.
right. Yeah.
Um, so that was probably right around the time where I was like, I really should be doing something.
But the Man in the Crease, there's two hosts of that you hear. They are both professional hockey like announcers, commentators
Oh, really?
within the league.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
I thought that was really cool. Yeah, and so they are eating ice cream in the snow, as you do. You get Scott Hunter again. You get Cutter Vaughan, I believe is his name. Uh,
Mhm.
then Vaughn says something about like, oh, it's not safe for gay guys in Russia. That's when you get Shane being worried about Ilya and texting him, and that's that kind of thing that starts this snowball of like not texting him back, and we get
Okay.
yeah.
So I have like a big thought about this where I was like, ooh,
Okay.
that's a really good thought. I should write that down. And I did.
Fabulous.
So, first of all, what planet are you on that you don't like think of Russia as a gay person and immediately go, hmm,
Like,
that
yeah,
isn't the
yeah,
best place for me to be. So what I'm thinking is, do you think that Shane still in his mind identifies as straight? Like he's in denial to the point that he doesn't see himself as a gay person? So that
yeah,
because in his head he's like, yeah, I'm with Ilya. That's fine. I like that. I like dick, whatever. But then he's like, "Oh, in Russia, I'm gay." Do you
yeah.
think that that's when it dawns on him that he's actually gay? Like I know that sounds like such a because
Mm.
obviously lots of things make you gay.
I
Um
at this point he does not know that he's gay. At this point he is still like quote unquote in denial, but is still thinking like, no, 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 this thing with Ilya is like just a thing that happened, and no, I'm sure I like girls. They're probably great.
they're
So
probably great.
they're probably fine. So I think that he's more worried about Ilya than he is himself. He's like, oh no, I'm not going to go and
Yeah.
do anything that's gay in this country. But Ilya, I know, obviously hooked up with other guys, and this is his home country. So he's gonna like, if he did get found out, like he might be doing something. He would. It would be fair to assume
Yeah.
that Shane would think he's doing stuff with other guys and not just him, because he doesn't know if he is or not. So I think he just gets
Yes,
really
I
worried
was really
about him.
surprised about that. I was surprised like we'll say it later, but I was surprised
Mm.
that he had assumptions that Elliot was just other people? I don't know, because he's obviously not with anyone else. But
Mm.
I guess that's what your brain does when somebody you really like just doesn't text you. And you're like,
Yeah,
why aren't they with me? Why aren't they texting me back?
yeah. Oh, they're probably with somebody else.
Also, who do you think texts who more
I think
during all
Ilya
that
tech.
time?
I think Ilya texts Shane more. Ilya's certainly more flirtatious over text. Like he's definitely
Yeah.
going somewhere with this text, whereas Shane's just like, huh? What now? Like, oh, I'm gonna get 9 goals or something. What's that for?
Just
The
just
inches, thank you. nine
yeah, just
inches. Jesus
just
Christ.
out that he was actually I mean, I probably wasn't maybe I don't know. I was just like, no, he was probably just joking about that. Like, and then I'm like, oh, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe he does have a big dick.
Oh, it's fair to assume he has a big dick. 9 inches, we don't know, but it's fair to assume that he is well
Oh
endowed.
my
The
god.
confidence.
And
Um,
guys are the and guys are the ones who care about that shit as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They really are. Another fun fact that Shane, when they're watching the figure skating, is sitting in seat 108 again. So that's a little callback from episode 1 where he sits in 108 and Ilya sits in 109. I believe. I think I got them the wrong way round in the last episode, but point still stands. Um, you get Shane wearing his Canada fleece, ta-da. Um, and going up to Ilya, their first kind of is this their first kind of fight? No, no, because you get the Vegas kind of end of
Yeah, Vegas thing is definitely the
episode
first
one.
like fight.
Yeah, but I do think that Ilya here is protecting Shane. I think that Ilya obviously he's been knocked out of the Olympics. He's in a bad place with his dad and his brother. He's feeling pretty shitty, and then Shane comes up being all adorable, like, text me back. And he's like, no, I didn't text you back. Like, go away because you could get in trouble just probably talking to me, or somebody could see something. I don't want, but also I don't want to blow up at you. I don't want to yell at you. And that's where my headspace is right now. And so you being here is not going to help. And I don't want to hurt your feelings. And I think that's what he tries to do. He's like trying to be like, not here, not Russia. Um,
Yeah.
and Shane just doesn't understand that, and it's just like, oh, okay, well. So I think he keeps pushing it until Ilya has to kind of yell at him. Really,
Yeah, Shane, you need to get a fucking grip.
I think it's yeah. I think he needs to. understand Shane's Ilya's
I
emotions more.
my
Hmm.
hopes for Shane is that he reaches a new level of maturity by episode 3 because enough years have gone by that I feel like he should be more mature. He
Hmm.
still feels very, very immature to me.
Okay,
And
yeah, yeah.
if I find it frustrating, but also he is what's supposed to be like 25 then, 26, like because they were
He's
teenagers when they started.
Yeah, so he's not. Yeah, he's. I God, I'm really bad at math, so I'll let you do the calculations on that. But yeah, I do think
Oh
he's
my
still
God, I'm good with
very
math.
naive. I still think he's very sheltered.
Yeah.
Um, so
I mean,
yeah,
it's, I think I was probably still by 27, still very much like
mm.
I have no idea what the world is like. Like if you,
And if you're
if you're in
living
a
in a
certain
athletic bubble,
lifestyle, yeah,
yeah, if you're living in
yeah,
a bubble like that, you're not going to get you're not going to get the experience of the world, and you're just like sleeping with your rival. You know, things are complicated. We have his dad again being just like the worst dad, but then also we get a bit more of his memory loss, not remembering that his mum has passed away and that he has a new wife that we
yeah.
never see because, it costs to have actors. So Paulina just chilling out somewhere in Moscow. Um, okay, but then we get introduced to Sasha. What are your thoughts on Sasha?
I feel like there's a right and a wrong answer.
Oh no, there isn't. There isn't. I don't like him.
Okay.
I
Oh,
don't
do you
like
not?
him.
Okay, because you definitely said it. It was a weighted question, but I couldn't tell which way we were weighting. Um, I don't have a problem with Sasha. I think he's all right. I mean, he's all right. Like, obviously, you want him to be with Shane. That's the whole point of the thing.
Yeah.
So you don't want, but I mean, you're talking to someone who was Team Jacob. Fuck it. I don't care.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
No,
Yeah. Yeah.
I I think that it feel like Ilya feels very out of his like league there. Like I feel like
Mm.
he's just like it's too much for him. I think he needs someone more neurotic like Shane. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying that. Uh, I really want
I
Shane to get
agree.
better.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Because this other guy is very hypersexual and he's talking about the clubs and the women and the men and then doing
Yeah,
cocaine. I didn't like how much he was coming on to Ilya when Ilya clearly was not interested. But then again, he's high on cocaine and he's probably used to Ilya just being pretty perceptive to it and, going along with
yeah,
it. So but the whole time, Ilya's just thinking about Shane because you get him looking at the text. Like, so I was thinking, is he thinking about Shane this whole time? And then he looks at Shane's text. I'm like, oh, he is. He is thinking about Shane.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. He is. Uh,
yeah, bless.
Also,
Hmm.
the exposition dump from that girl
Yeah,
about hockey, about hockey. This is how it goes. She's like, well, clearly this is going to happen. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. And I was like, this is first of all fantastic. There's a lady who knows about sports. Woohoo!
yep,
And then
yep.
and then it's a great way for us as the audience to have an idea of what's going on. It's a great way to show off that Sasha doesn't give two fucks what's going on, and
Hmm.
that Ilya hasn't put like all of it together to realize what's happening. That he's actually going to win the Stanley Cup, or cup, because
The
it didn't
cup.
say Stanley Cup, so I
Yep.
assume they can't say Stanley
They
Cup.
can't say Stanley Cup.
uh, but I I guess that like he had so much other shit on his mind. He didn't do the like mental gymnastics
Yeah.
to figure out exactly where it was going. And I kind of like that.
Mm.
I bet you can't tell
Mm.
who my favorite is. I kind of like that because
Mm.
like my husband's in sales and gets commission and stuff. So he's always like, well, if this deal ends and then this deal ends and then this deal ends and then this, and he like is doing that mental gymnastics of like, and then
Yeah.
this could happen, and then and it's like it's a really good competitive thing to have when you're in sales. But I just find it exhausting. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, yeah, okay, if I,
This thing, then that.
it's
Yeah,
a
got
really
that
good
thing.
thing to
Yeah.
have if that's your career.
Yeah.
But I like that he was like he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm so busy and so caught up in my own emotions and everything else going on and all the stakes and everything happening in my life and my relationships and all of this stuff that I hadn't even done the mental gymnastics to get to. He's going to be winning. He could be winning the Stanley Cup, which is obviously what I think most
Mm.
athletes would be doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
especially testosterone-driven ones.
Yes, yeah, 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 yeah. And then we move straight into the like the playoffs, but one of the fun. I get very confused about how it works, and I've read 6 books now on hockey, so I'm kind of figuring out that there's a lot of games, and it's like you
So
could win at the later stages. You can win if you beat them, but if you don't beat them, you still keep playing.
but it's the best of 7.
Okay, okay, gotcha. Right.
So if you win game 4, see if you win 3
Hmm.
and then you are at your home team for game 4,
Yeah.
you can either win there or you can lose there, travel to the other team because they'll do like 3 or 4 games in one place. And they'll travel to the other one. So when he's giving his like hype speech, what?
Yeah, love
He's
that.
basically saying, we can do it here and win tonight with our fans, or we can win tomorrow night at theirs. And but the risk you always have in the best kind of hockey games, the best
Mm,
hockey games, are when you're
okay.
in a final and you've
Mm.
got 3 and 3. So whoever wins this game wins the whole thing. But you've also got to have 6
Oh,
whole games to watch, which is great.
wow.
It's the
Okay.
for a fan to get to game 7 is the best because
Yeah.
you've had 6 great playoff games because the
Right.
playoffs are the best part of a hockey. Hockey games are like meh, they're a dime a dozen, but
Yeah.
playoff games are just so good.
Mm.
So what he's saying is essentially we either win tonight or we have to win game 4 in the next one, but they win in Boston.
You get that great speech, yeah, from Ilya being like, "That
Oh,
was yesterday. That was before."
so good.
It's amazing. He can really put on the intensity, and it was really intense, and it was great. And then obviously you get Shane watching with his team. Um, this bit at the end when Ilya wins and he raises the cup above him and he says, "For you, Mama," I think he says in Russian, and you get Shane with tears in his eyes, but not letting a single one fall, is a skill. And you'll see this throughout. It's a skill that he will be so close to crying, so close to a tear, and never one falls. And it's it's just so I don't know. It was quite an emotional bit to see that, to see Ilya so happy, and for him to see him happy and smile and be happy for him. Um, and I don't know whether I think the tear is for Ilya. It's for like it's not like oh I lost and he won. It's more of a I'm so happy for him. It's making me want to cry. I'm like so happy, but I can't be there
Yeah,
with him.
I I wrote, "Oh, he's happy because his boo won."
Yeah, exactly. He's so happy for him, and that's really sweet. And obviously that means that there's a lot more feelings there than he thinks there is. Okay, let's move on because we're moving into kind of like we're doing good. I made sure we did a lot better, a lot quicker. I tried to rein myself in. I hope you're proud of
Yeah,
me.
rein you in.
Um, okay, we get to Vegas. We get to the awards.
Oh my
Ilya has
god.
not messaged him for 6 months, I think. He does the whole like, where were you? We've got 5 seconds or 25 seconds. You know, such a bitch move. Um, where were you? I'm busy. Who with who? He just likes to wind him up at
Yeah,
this point.
that's what I mean. When he said the with who, I was like, why would you assume? And then I was like, I guess he's just that's all his brain is going to is just
Yeah.
he hasn't texted me, so he must be with someone else.
Yeah.
I listen to a podcast, and anytime there's a character that has a leather jacket, they're like, and we know he's bad because he has a leather jacket. And I just feel like Ilya has kind of like the bad boy, like leather jackety type kind of guy. So that's what he
Yeah.
gets his reputation from is his like sort of bad boy. That's
Yeah.
what it is, bad boy, right?
Bad boy. Yeah. Yeah. Um, okay. We get the little selfie during the speech.
Oh my god, this was so cute because obviously it was so well written to be like these cheesy little things that they
Yeah.
do.
So
But the
horrid.
selfie, and does he just put his hand down his back or does he touch his bum?
I think he just puts his hand down his back. I think he goes from his
I
neck
think I
to his
had in my
back.
head he was gonna touch his bum and I was really excited. I was like,
Yeah,
is he
yeah,
going
yeah,
for his bum?
yeah. We all wanted that. Um, I think for me, it
I
feels like
suppose that would
that's
be a bit too much.
probably a little squeeze. Um, I do feel like that maybe might be the apology, like the down the it's just like a I see you, kind of thing. I'm still kind of
Yeah.
interested. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
But okay, so we get Shane running to the bathroom. This is another classic Shane Folds moment where you get Ilya come in and he's like, "You haven't answered the text from me. Suck my dick." And he's like, "No, you suck my dick." And it's like, "Ask nicely, please." And you're like, "Come on!" I counted it. I think I count 14 seconds. I counted it from "fuck you, suck my dick" to "please." 14 seconds.
What you
And so
counted.
this is where you're going to be like, "Come on, Shane, come on, have a backbone."
I I put in here, I just wanted a frank conversation. I
Oh,
just
I
wanted them to have
know.
a
I know.
frank out. And to be fair, it was actually I put that I said I needed the frank conversation, and then immediately was like, maybe I thought I was getting more than this. Okay. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like I was like, finally, we're gonna have a nice open conversation where we talk about everything. No,
And then you remembered
no,
who
I
these
don't
boys
think
were
so.
and thought, no.
Yeah, I mean, I is this just me being like a like trauma dumping psycho bitch where I'm just like, I cannot imagine talking to somebody for this long and not sharing like my entire life story and every little thing about me. I don't understand how they are just so like, yeah, I
Yeah.
guess we've known each other for 5 years. Is this a guy? Is this what is
I
this?
mean,
Like
it must be because it's one of those where it's like the guy comes back from hanging out with his mates and you say, "Oh, what happened?" Oh, you say, "Oh, how about,
nothing.
Barry and Libby? Oh, they broke up. What? When? I don't know. Or how? I don't know. What?" Like they don't ask any follow-up questions. So I think this might just be a guy thing that they're just like, "I don't need to know any information. I didn't even think to ask."
And then the please thing, I did first of all, Shane's first little please where he's like, please. I was like, ah it just cracked me up. I literally put one of the laughing, crying emojis.
It's very sweet, and then he makes him do the whole speech, like get on his knees on this filthy bathroom floor. He makes him do the whole speech, and he says, "Please" at the beginning, I think, and "please" at the end. No. Oh, what a bad boy. Where's his leather jacket?
I'm saying.
Um, and so yeah, all he wants. And what I thought was interesting was when he says to Shane, like, "Oh, if you win, I'll do anything you want." And then Shane's like, "Well, if you win," and then he just kisses him. He kisses Shane, and I'm like, that's what he wants. What he wants is just to hold this man and to kiss him. And he doesn't like it. It's kind of, I feel like it's his way of getting away with doing that rather than being like, "I just want to like cuddle." Can't say that, obviously. So it's just like that's the only thing he wants. Um, and then just leaves him in there with his little tear, with his little eye, watering eyes, but it's not falling cry. Oh,
Do you do you think though,
yeah.
at any time, and obviously we're gonna get to it all, but do you think at
Hmm.
any time Shane is calling any of the shots?
In this episode, I don't know. No, and I think it's a no, but I also think that Shane doesn't mind, if that makes sense. I think he
Okay.
likes being led.
Yeah, I mean, like, I am fully aware that we have a whole spectrum of people that enjoy all different types of relationship dynamics. We even talked about this last time with our relationships are different. Like,
Mm.
most people have very different things that they're into, and they're into, and they're into. There's there's a lot of different ways you can take that.
Yeah.
But Jane's such a pussy. I can't. I'm just like, oh,
But he
like
just
I don't even
wants
know.
this man. He just wants this
I
man.
don't understand. I don't understand what Ilya finds attractive about him. I'm just like, I can't get
So
it. I'm like,
do
no,
you find
no,
either of
he's a
them
pussy.
attract? Do you find either of them attractive?
Like
One more than the
physically
other?
attractive, like or like their personalities attractive.
I So for me, I find Ilya more attractive in the show. I find them both attractive generally, but I find Ilya more attractive, I think, because of his
Okay,
personality and his body.
I'm gonna answer this
Hmm.
on several levels here.
Oh,
As
okay.
actors,
Hmm.
as actors. like just pure like, do I find them hot? Um, no, not really on either of them. I mean, they're
Okay.
okay. Like, I am fully aware that the like peak physique for me is Jack Black. Like, I have, I like my men chubby with beards and very grizzly.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
I I guess I like what you call a bear.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like a bear of a man. Got it.
But yeah, no, so I don't really find either of them that attractive, but I can appreciate that they do have very like toned bodies, which
Yeah.
I it's not for me. Like if a man was that toned, I'd be like, where's the rest of you? But that's a me thing. That's I fully
Yeah.
understand like objectively.
Mm.
Um like there are a lot of people in Hollywood that are like really traditionally attractive that I'm just like, nah,
Yeah. I
but
agree
I'm
with
just
that.
odd. Anyway,
No, no, no. I do
um
100% agree with that.
but then there is like in the show's context,
Mm.
I think that they're both kind of cute. Like they're cute,
Yeah.
and I do kind of see. But yeah, Shane, he's just too much. Like if it was like if I was to insert myself as to one of their partners, and I was the other gay man in this relationship,
Yeah. Yeah.
I certainly wouldn't want to be with Shane. I also
Okay.
wouldn't want to
Okay.
be Shane.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Fair. Well, so I really like, so I like Ilya. And then off screen, I like Hudson, right? And that's very generic for a lot of people because they are the complete opposites of their characters, right? So in the show, Ilya is like a little bit mischievous, and Shane is like a puppy dog. And then off screen, in my opinion, Connor is a little puppy dog, and Hudson is mischievous. So I obviously seem to like to go for the mischievous guys.
I don't know either of these guys, and actually, I was gonna talk to you sort of at the end of this episode. Was am I free to watch like their press runs for this? Like, could I
I
watch
would
them on like Jimmy Fallon or something? Like,
I
or is
would
that gonna be
love
spoilery?
I would love to send you some of their press runs. I think you should see.
Oh yeah.
Like the Teen
Okay, cool.
Vogue ones are great. You've got Hudson being like, "I want to be broken and on a stretcher by the end of season 2." Like he's like, "I want Ilya to rock it like he's never rocked it before." He is a chaos demon, that man. And then you've got Connor being like, "What about the love? What about the caresses?" And Hudson's just like, "No, what about the sex?" So yeah, I do want to send you. I don't want you to see too much because I don't want it to kind of. I mean, I can still watch it and completely separate actor from art. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's quite easy because
Well,
they
I
are, like I
didn't.
say, so different from who they are personality wise.
Yeah, when I deep dive, um, I like deep dive into stuff like when it's like something I'm obsessed with, like how you're
Yeah,
definitely obsessed with this.
yeah,
Um, to the point that like I said with Hamilton, I don't think there is one performance of any of those songs on YouTube that I have not watched,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
any like even fan performances and stuff. So I totally get it.
Mm-hmm,
But I also am definitely, because when I do like something or when I am interested in something, I want to watch all the like little interviews. And
mm-hmm.
now you've sent me like one Peloton ad, and now all this shit keeps coming up on my
Oh
thing, and I'm like, oh, I've
no.
watched that.
Yeah,
But no. Yeah, my algorithm is like, "Oh, you like this guy. Do you like anything about Heated Rivalry? Do you like this stuff?" And now I
yeah,
like
yeah,
our video. I've watched our video,
yeah, yeah,
and now
yeah.
it's like, "You must like it. You're watching these people on YouTube talk about it."
This is my concern. When I did send you that, I was concerned that you would get onto the Heated Rivalry side of the algorithm, and that is full of edits that are going to ruin things for you. Because I did say there's a couple of Hamilton edits of this show, and they're fantastic. And you were like, send them to me. I was like, no. Right, we've got to move into the last scene because this is the first time where this show properly made me like kind of just be like, give me give me a raw emotion at the end of this episode. So let's get into, obviously, Ilya wins MVP. He texts Shane,
Aw.
penthouse one. The great stance of Ilya with an open shirt, arms out, waiting for his congratulations. I kind of want to know how long he was standing there, but also what a great stance. What a confident kind of like take off your clothes. and he's just takes off his clothes again, folds them. Um, it's a lot of windows. We get the chair drag. I have already seen somebody get a tattoo of that chair. Just of that chair. I
Oh my
have seen a lot of people be like,
God.
"What are you going for as Halloween, and why is it the chair that Ilya drags across the floor?" We all want to be that chair. Just me?
Jesus
No.
Christ, you guys. It kind of gave me like the vibes of maybe it's just like the penthouse and the like open shirt kind of thing, but it
Mm.
gave me like that sort of like sexy vibes, like in Pretty Woman where she's sitting
I
like
was
on the
just thinking
floor
Pretty
having a
Woman.
picnic.
Yes, I was just thinking Pretty
She's
Woman.
having
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
she's having like a little picnic watching Lucille Ball, and then he's like, "Come over here," and like they have that
Mm.
kind of like, but it's this sort of like soft, fun kind of. But that's what it gives me that. Although it
Hmm.
very quickly changes, very quickly changes into something where I'm just like, yeah, okay.
I'm gonna have to like unzip my jumper for this scene. Yeah, it's great because you get a little bit of fun as well. Like you get the first kind of like actual kind of smile off Shane when he's like, "Do you want to know how it feels?" And he's like, "How what feels?" Holding the cup, and he's like, "Fuck you!" Like throws his boxes at him, which I thought was so cute. Is yeah, he throws it aside and then he's like, touch yourself, I want to watch. This is obviously a very awkward scene for you because this is a very intimate scene without anybody even touching. It's just like looking at each other. He's in his little cuck chair.
This week's episode is sponsored by CCW, Cuck Chair Warehouse. If you're looking for a comfortable place to sit while you watch people engage in sexual activities, nowhere has a larger selection of cuck chairs than the Cuck Chair Warehouse. They have chairs for all occasions, hotel hookups, Mormon swinging events, and even watching your hockey rival after you've won MVP. With the patented scratch-resistant technology, you can drag your cuck chair into any room without having to worry about scratching the floor. Just hear from one of our satisfied customers.
Being comfortable is key when I watch some other man go to town on my wife. Thanks, Cuck Chair Warehouse.
Use our code We Didn't Even Kiss for £28.86 off your next purchase. Now back to the show.
I really, really don't like being told what to do, and I really get very sassy about it. So the whole subdom thing's just not for me.
It's not working for
Like,
you. My question to
I
you, and
fucking
I'm
hate it.
sorry because
I'm like, please would go a long way here.
yeah.
What's your fucking deal here? I'm sorry, mate. Nope, not happening. I don't do it.
Whereas obviously Shane is
I
like,
understand.
I like this.
Oh yeah, he's into it. I
Yeah.
get it. I
Um,
hate it though. I'm like,
I had to
ew.
explain to my dear mother what Shane was doing on the bed because she was like, because he said, I want you to see you touch yourself. And then he takes his boxes off, and then Ilya goes, oh, fuck. Like, that's something I'm very impressed by. Um, he's not jerking off, just as an aside there. He's doing something else. He's getting prepared. He's getting ready. That's why he says then, like, are you gonna I'm gonna have to really just not like this is not going to do well on YouTube with all the swearing we're doing, but um, he's like, are you going to fuck me? Because he's basically just got himself prepared for Ilya, and then he's like, I want you, which is so intense of a line. But yes, I had to explain that to my mum what he was doing. So thanks, Jacob Tierney. But and then obviously we get the bit that you are not going to want to talk about, which is because it's great because he does that cut to black. You're like fade to black, and you're like, oh okay, we're gonna come up and they're just gonna be like finished. Nope, this is not like another TV show. We get fade to black and then straight into it with the thumping kind of house music going on. It's called Inferno on the
Now,
soundtrack.
this is where I put my big girl pants on and I was fine with this. This I had no problem with.
Good. Okay.
It was the like I don't like the whole bully people. I feel like it's
Mm,
mean and I don't get it. Like I know there are so many people that absolutely love that are like, please tell me what to do. I mean,
mm.
I have a story. Oh, I don't know if it's for the podcast.
Um, I really love.
Poor
I just like the
Dudley.
intensity of this scene because it is so intense. You go from kind of like I want you, and you're like, oh, that's really sweet. Like, that's really sexy. And then you just get boom straight into it. And it's quite like aggressive. It's quite fast paced. And then again, fade to black. And I think it's a fade to black. And then they're just sitting next to each other. He's smoking a cigarette in this scene. Now, my thought is that he is smoking a cigarette because he wants Shane to say something about it, like to kind of nag him about it a little bit. Like, I don't know if maybe I picked that up from the books or whether I've come to this conclusion myself. I don't know at this point. But it just feels like Ilya's waiting for Shane to say something, but Shane doesn't say the right thing, if that makes sense. Because he starts asking about Russia, and Ilya's obviously got
Yeah.
suddenly put his walls up.
So what I kind of thought was interesting, because I was like, there's really like this is the premise of the show, right? Is
Mm,
that they are rivals, so they're on separate things,
yeah.
and they're gay, which is a taboo, especially I suppose in the sports world as well.
Mm,
So he can't just be like, "Oh, well, just come stay with me for the summer. Why won't this is working out? Let's have this relationship." But they
mm,
have to keep this secret. But I mean, so and this is me, and tell me straight up if I'm talking out of turn here. But I
okay.
feel like a lot of relationships, like gay relationships on TV for the last so many years, whatever, a lot of it was either super, super, super like, oh my God, hey, like whatever,
Yeah.
or it was, I'm gay and I don't want anyone to know, and this is a huge thing. And that was
Mm,
there was no like in between.
mm,
Um, but this is they could definitely be out and fine, except for the Russia thing,
mm-hmm.
the being in sports thing, and them also
Yeah.
being on opposite teams. Because even if it was a straight relationship, being on opposite teams would still be
Yeah.
kind of a taboo. So they've taken out the like, I just don't want my mum to know I'm gay, and turned it
Mm,
into there's actually some serious stakes on this.
yeah. There's some serious
And I
threat
think
here.
that that's really like I like that as a
Mm,
storytelling device, and not just like as somebody who watched many years of Glee and things. It's like we're not just worried about like, which I mean obviously that's still a very true story. There is
mm,
still very
mm,
much
mm.
people who that is their lives, is that they cannot come
Yeah.
out because of just their lives and their family. Um and again, please tell me to just fuck right off. But I feel like this is
Mm.
moving the
Mm.
gay narrative and storytelling further along than it has been?
I can
Or is that
agree
just
with
me?
that. Yeah, because also I think that yes, you get a lot of them denying their own feelings because of all of these things. Because it's not just one thing. I say just, but there is so many things that stand in their way of even just admitting to themselves that they like the other person. That to admit to themselves is to kind of take a step in a direction that they aren't welcome to take. They're not allowed to take. So
Yeah.
I think that's where you get that kind of scene where it's like trying to
And
converse,
also
trying to, and then just it's shutting down because it can't happen.
I feel like if this was about like women athletes, I feel like most people, I mean we covered Bend It Like Beckham. Most people would
Yeah.
just assume women athletes are gay. Like this isn't even a thing. So it is also
Yeah.
partially about the like it's partially about the male experience as well.
Mm, mm.
Like it's partly like I'm really you're right, it is high art. Um
Thank you.
No, but, like, I am trying to find, because I
Mm,
genuinely am just like, I don't know if this is really for me, but I do find this to be an interesting story, and I do find it there are a lot of stakes, and I love when there's some good stakes in things, because
yeah.
if things are just kind of, like, fluffy and I just get kinda like, "Meh,"
Yeah.
like, "Oh, is that ever gonna really not be right?" Or, like, when someone
Hmm.
has just so much plot armor that they're never gonna die, and you're like, "Well, why am I watching you trudge through zombies for 12
Yes,
episodes of,"
100%.
because you're just like, you're never gonna there's no stakes to it.
Yeah.
There's some very realistic stakes, which they could be problems, and they could be
Mm,
solved once they do come up as problems, and there's a
mm.
lot to it. So I actually I I love this for them. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
love this for the community, and I can see why. Is this popular? I mean, I can only assume that the gay community has fully embraced this and love this, but I
Yes,
don't have a
yeah.
lot of that in my algorithm, if I'm honest.
Yes, it won a GLAAD award and it's won 2 Queerity awards, I believe.
Oh wow.
So it's done really well.
Yeah.
And I do follow a lot of like LGBTQIA content creators and stuff who absolutely adore this show. And yeah, so it's been very welcomed into the community, I would say, from my algorithms side of things, of course.
Yeah.
Um, so moving on though to
Sorry.
the heartbreak
Tangent.
at the end. No, I'm gonna keep us to time. I'm gonna do it this time.
Oh, sorry.
Um no, but that was a really good point. I really like that. Okay. So we move from like my experience, okay, is me going, oh my god, this is great. Oh look, sex scene. Oh, fantastic. Oh look, oh, okay. Oh, right. Okay. And you get to the point where he leaves. He's like, I've got to go to sleep. Like, yeah, I guess I've got to go. But he's like, bye, see ya, in the lift, going down. And
Oh,
he goes to text him, see you next season, deletes it, turns around. So he's turning away. There's a thing about how he's always turning into his texts and he turns away. We didn't even kiss. And it's a line that comes out of nowhere, for me at least. It comes out of nowhere, but then
yeah.
it suddenly clicks something in your brain and you go, wait, and you're suddenly playing the whole scene back in your head, being like, fuck, they didn't kiss. And I didn't even notice because the scene was so intense. I didn't even notice that. And Shane did. And he is heartbroken. And it broke my heart. Just that text. And then him kind of obviously deleting it and being like, fuck. And the
Again, though, to
intensity of
bring
that.
back
Yeah.
to bring back on Pretty Woman, does that mean
Hmm.
because kissing is more important? Like kissing is more like
Intimate. It is. It
intimate?
is more
Yeah.
intimate.
So
Well,
I like,
especially because he's
but
just.
I
Go on.
all of my notes were literally just like Shane, stop being annoying. Shane, stop being annoying. Shane, stop being annoying. And put my last note. My whole thing was that last bit in the lift did have me feeling sorry for
Yes,
Shane.
yes, absolutely. And it does. Because you have gone from a very hypersexual scene as well, where they aren't even looking at each other in that scene. So from that, and then realizing that they didn't kiss, but then Shane wanting to articulate that, but realizing that he doesn't know how Ilya feels. He's assuming that Ilya just thinks, like, oh, you're a good time, out you go. Bye. I don't think about you when you're not around, kind of thing. He's just like, I can't say that. That's too much. That's too much emotion. He's going to run away from that.
Yeah.
I could lose him if I say that. I'm not going to say anything. But also, the thing that really gets me is how they do it with the music, because it's quite intense in that. In when he's in the lift, it's very kind of sad. The screen goes to black after that. You get the credits, but that still same track continues. And that is what leaves me with it. So it's like it gives you the we didn't even kiss, and you're like sitting there going, oh my god. And then it's just silence and just this soundtrack that just keeps playing on a black screen with these credits, and you're just stuck with it. It doesn't cut off and then starts playing a merry jig. It doesn't play a different song. It just makes you sit with it. A merry jig. It makes you sit with it for the whole credits. And you're just stuck. And I watch the credits every time. I stop the like autoplay thing because it does it every time. It kind of sits you with something, and you just have to wait it out.
You're wild, man. Because you are I have to pay more attention to the music because
Mm,
music is something I kind of notice. If I know the song really well, I'll be like, oh, I clock that.
yeah.
Um, or like if it just hits me a certain way. But when all of our rewatches are very in tune to the music.
Mm.
Like, is that a big part of watching something for you, the soundtrack?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I've got a lot of soundtracks. I've got the Heartstopper soundtrack. I think that's a good one. I've got a lot of soundtracks on my like playlist thing because I do, music is everything to me, and I
Yeah.
will always have an earphone in. So it is really important to me. And the soundtrack on this is fantastic. They are releasing it on vinyl, a double vinyl with
Ooh.
one vinyl being the musical soundtrack, as in like Wet Leg and oh my god, all of the other bands have suddenly disappeared from my brain. Feist, all that, and then they're doing a whole album which is just the original score, which is I would
Oh
recommend
wow.
listening to because it is beautiful. It's by Peter, and so I have pre-ordered it, and it was not goddamn cheap. Okay, let's move on to final thoughts, to predictions. Um, Obviously, you know my final thoughts on this episode. I love this episode, but I don't like watching it too much because the end always gets me and it leaves me wanting more. And you know, I can't, if I'm not in a position to binge it, then I find it hard to watch this
Yeah.
episode.
So I my final thoughts is like leaving this episode was, "Oh, I really want to just watch the next episode." But then
Hmm.
also like 20 minutes later I had so much other stuff to do that I was like, "No, it's all right. I'm fine," because I had to do school run, I have to do all these
Yeah.
things. I'm all over the bit. But now I'm creating my massive schedule and I have exactly in my schedule where I'm going to watch it now and I know exactly when I'm going to be able to do it. So I'm
Yes.
really excited to put it 'cause now I'm actually organizing myself. Hi, I'm messy.
Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Any final thoughts, or are we good? We set for next week?
So I have any final thoughts? I don't know, but I am excited that I'm enjoying this a lot more than I thought I would because I was kind of like, oh God, this is going to be hard if I don't like it. But I
Yeah.
am enjoying it. I'm really excited now for one that's going to be like sort of
Mm,
off the beaten path.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I think I'm just excited to keep going.
Yay.
Yeah, this will be really fun. I'm enjoying myself. Because
Fantastic.
I am constantly just in a state of panic of because there's so many more people that have suddenly started listening to us that everyone's gonna hate me for not liking Shane or anything or just be like, wow, this girl has no fucking clue. Oh
Our
man.
OG listeners, we love you and welcome to our new listeners. We're so happy you're here. So do leave us comments. Do that thing where you like and you subscribe. Why not?
Mm.
I'll be putting more stuff out. Check out our socials as well because I've been putting up every day little clips from the episode with scenes, with little extra bits in it, with music behind it. There you go, getting the TikTok algorithm, and they've been really good, and I've been really enjoying making them. So have a look at those. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, and then I've also been putting shorts on YouTube as well. So they should be coming up for you as well. So thank you so much, everybody, for listening and for watching. And we shall see you next week for episode 3.